I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Hunter, and this is
the Family Showdown! Hello and welcome back to my top 100 games of all time, the 2022 edition. And today we are looking at 80 through 71. So what do you think about that? What do you think? Do you have any predictions?
I'll predict that I'll like some and I won't like some.
Wow, that's a solid prediction from Hunter.
It could be that I like all of them or not like any of them. So it's a solid prediction. All right. I'll hate 2. I'll love 2. And I'll be mad about 6.
I think you're wrong.
All right.
I think you're going to like all
You wanted a more...
No, that's good though. That's good though. I like that. That was a little more, a little. So I did look and there are some jumpy jumps of all sorts. There's some that came leaping up and then some that are naturally falling. So it's kind of interesting. As opposed to, I think, was it last time everything had just like tanked, right? And so now we're kind of getting more into more of what seems like is my typical 100 where everything's fluctuating in nonsense. So let us start with my number 80. It was my number 50. I think it needs to be played again, quite frankly. But yeah, it's just naturally, slowly dropping a little bit. And that is The Networks. This is... Oh, I like it more than Hunter does, but we both really like this game. It is a game where you are a TV network station and you need to maximize your viewers, which are basically your victory points. And you want to make good profits and have the most viewers by selecting your time slots, what you're going to have in each time slot, and who you're going to have in your shows, what kind of commercials you're going to have, and all of this stuff. So you're selecting these things and you have your time slots, and some shows are better at certain time slots than others. Some give you benefits after they go into syndication. There's all these different times that everything clicks off, so it's kind of a little puzzle of where you want to fit what, when. But you're picking them out of this tableau every round, and you need to make good choices and try to snipe them away before somebody else takes your, supremo stuff that you want. And I really love the cheesy, punny titles. They do spoofs and a lot of very popular TV shows and actors and this and that. So it's kind of fun to read all of the cards and everything. Just a really entertaining game. Really enjoy The Networks. That is a lie.
No, I like this one. I like this one quite a bit. We most recently played with everything that's out so far, and we enjoyed everything. So we're probably going to continue to play with everything. We're waiting on bated breath for the big box expansion. I guess that's coming out eventually from Kickstarter someday.
Oh, that's going to be...
It's a good one. I like the fact that it's like she said, it's a drafting game, but there's a choice of all different things to draft, because you can draft new shows, you can draft new actors, you can draft superpowers, you can draft one-shot abilities, and all sorts of stuff. So it's like, what do I draft when it's my turn to draft? Because there's so many different things to do. And also some set collection, getting like lots of the different shows or lots of different shows and stuff like that. It's a really solid game. It's got a bazillion expansions, but the base game's just fun.
Yeah, the only thing about the base game is it'll feel a little samey because you don't have a really big variety.
Yeah, true.
So if you really like this game and want to play it a lot, I think this is one of those games that really benefits from a great expansion. They're fantastic. I love the names.
That's good. It's
interesting.
That's a good one.
But that's number 80. All right, so this one dropped significantly. It was in the 20s and it dropped to 79.
I deserve it.
I don't think you're going to say that when you see it.
Mutation Nation.
I think it's just that it suffered from some not being played in a long time. I feel like that might be what it is. And you're going to agree because this is like one of my favorite Viscount's. This game, I love this one because you're charging around on the countryside and you move to little areas and you're kind of going in a circle. So you get to choose, but it's one of those things where you can't really backtrack, so you got to plan as you're moving forward, right? And you go in and you collect resources and stuff like that and be able to spend them. But in the middle is a castle area. It's almost like you have a twofold thing going on the board. And in the castle, you want to put meeples and stuff because you get different tiers of victory points. There's like levels in the castle as you get more meeples in there. But it's got a weird like balancing system because when you get a certain number of meeples in an area, they kind of like split off, almost like a pandemic. You know when you like when you get like an explosion of pandemic in the pandemic game, but they split off and it doesn't matter whose colors what. I mean, like everything split. So I don't know. It's an interesting thing, and sometimes I'll forget about that mechanism, and you'll go in and explode an area, and I'm like, well, I need to rebuild what I'm trying to do because you're trying to build up and get into the top tier of that castle because that's like some mad victory points and stuff. I really love the balance of this game. Of all of the West Kingdom games, I think this one is probably my favorite. I know you're like all sad, but
this isn't my favorite.
Oh, it's not your favorite? Really? That's interesting. I love this one. I don't know. It just hit all the right spots when we got this one. I was like, this is like. It seems like they kept getting better as we played the new games that came out, and this one was. I'll triple check, but I'm like 99.999% sure. No, I'm just saying it's a good game. It's one of my faves. Of that system, of that set. So that counts. You like this one a lot.
I do like this one a lot. You didn't mention the gimmick because you always
that's true.
I always mention
the good games.
I always
have a
mention
gimmick.
my gimmicks when I talk about
true.
games. And the gimmick of this game is your conveyor belt conveyor belt. So
that's true. I love the conveyor belt.
You're placing cards out and they kind of just move along this little conveyor belt and then they drop off. Some cards have good benefits when they're on the conveyor belt. Some get benefits when they drop off. Some you are really powerful and you want to try and find ways to reset your order so that you can keep that card on there as long as possible. They also drive what resources you get to do other things. It's a really solid game. It's all the West Kingdom games I love.
Oh, they're
all
so
of
good.
them. I think I love them more than you do.
Yes.
This is your favorite one. It's all the way down in the 70s. So
what? Well, I think again,
all of the West Kingdom games are on my top 100.
Probably.
I think maybe Architects might have dropped off.
Well, again, I think this one had such a huge drop because we just haven't played it in a long time.
We played the Tumi Saga.
Tome Saga?
Tumi Saga.
Tome Saga? Tome Saga was really good.
Recently.
That was very good. So, yeah, oh, man. Yeah, I want to play this again. I have a feeling it'll go back up, probably. We'll see.
That one is better.
Oh, interesting. Well, I know this one's stayed about the same. It was my 70, and now it's my 78. And I know this is one of yours that you're going to be like, eh. So it's funny.
I said it was going to be two I hate.
It's sad. It's sad that I don't know if you hate it. But close.
Very few. I don't think we own very many games I hate. So
do you know what this is?
It's a card box.
Yes. Star Realms. I have so many of those cards that we chopped off one of the things and stuck them on the sides of my little box. But yeah,
Put your sticker on the side.
That's really your sticker, which is kind of funny. That's on my box.
I just stuck it. Staying sitting there. So
I know. So this is one of my little go-to games. Oh gosh, I've played so many games of Star Realms, and it's just one of those really easy little card games where you're you draw your 5, you build up your army, you spend your points to buy more stuff, attack if you want to, kind of thing, and go on and discard everything. Other person goes and this and that, and what I like about this one is I think the hit points is like 50, but if you wanted to play a shorter game, you could just make it that everyone has 30 hit points. It doesn't matter. You can change that completely, and I absolutely love that.
Rules.
I know, crazy. But it has a million expansions. I liked most of them. There's event cards, and there's leaders, and there's different things, and there's benefits to all of the ships. If you have the same faction, they have a superpower kind of thing that they do, or they have discard power. If you discard them or trash them, they might do something special. There's a nice variety of different things in that. And goodness, I'm trying to think of what else did they have? They had events and leaders. I have a random card that's sitting in the top. That was probably a special card. I bet
It's
you
a
anything.
promo. It's a Dice Tower.
Yeah.
Promo.
Oh, is it Dice Tower promo? There you go. Oh yeah, it says Dice Tower on it. Cute. There's even Dice Tower promo cards. Like, there's a whole bunch of just little specialty cards and stuff. And this thing is just crammed chock full. It's really. I probably should get a slightly larger box. It's like wedged in there really good, but it's like fits perfectly in there. And it's one of those again that if I didn't take every single expansion thingy that I had, I could easily. Well, I could probably still put this in my purse, but you know, it's one of those games you could grab a pack of it and just take it with you anywhere you go. Highly portable. Doesn't take up too much space on a table, so I would take this to coffee shops and throw down with my friends or teach people how to play it. It was a perfect little game. I haven't played it a lot lately. Somebody's sick of it. So I guess I'm going to play it by myself. No, this is one of the very few games, too, in reality, that I got the app for and played it a lot on the app.
That's part of the problem is that we played it a lot.
Mhm.
I played a ton on the app.
Yeah.
And I'm just...
You're done on it.
Done with
because
it.
it's so easy to play. They have the app's really nice for this. I really like the app for it. And I don't usually like to play a lot of app board games. I still prefer to play the physical card game. But it's a great game, and...
That's not crazy.
I don't know if... Hey, calm down. This is my... What did I say? 78. I love this freaking game. But, I don't know. Do they still... Is it easy to find?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
They came out with a big box version of it recently, I think.
Oh, nice.
Well, not recently, within the last year or two.
Everybody's doing big boxes. So, yeah, apparently you're going to be able to find this pretty much anywhere. I'm happy with this.
I don't know what it was called, but anyway.
Okay. I'm happy with my little box of... It's like perfect size still for me. So, love me some Star Realms. Quick little throwdown game. If you're looking for something like that, I love it. It's easy to pick up and teach somebody too. Okay. Now we have one of my big leapers. This one leaped from 130, which I have a feeling I was being semi-cautious with it, to 77. Yeah, I mean, it just leaped up the charts. And it's one of my nature games. It's Parks! This is the big one. Trails, they have a little mini version of this, which is wonderful too, but this one is the big version, as it were. And this was a Target exclusive for a while, right? I can't remember. I know a lot of these nature games were for a while, and I think this... Oh, no, this is Barnes & Noble exclusive. So this was a Barnes & Noble exclusive box. And anyway, so it sets up a nice little trail, and you're going hiking and camping, and you're going to use your binoculars and go look at stuff, and you want to take pictures of things, and as you're traveling, you're collecting all of this, and it's very much like Ticket to Ride. You know, you're getting the special kinds of resources that you need to go, and once you visit the site, which is paying for the card with the resources, then you visited that site, and you have like your little card of it, and that's how you get your victory points and stuff, is collecting all of the, visiting all the places. It's an absolutely delightful game. I love the resource management in it. I love the movement along the little track and balancing it out with the different players. And it's just really nice, chill game. It's one of those, again, that if you really love nature and hiking and stuff, it's kind of like, oh, this is cool. And I love the art. The art is what blows my mind in this. It's got really cool art cards. I think, is this the one that has unique artists doing the different cards too? I think, if I remember right. They've got a whole bunch of different artists doing the Parks cards in there. And they have really beautiful style. It's one of those that, honestly, and I think they did for a while. Didn't they sell some of them as bigger posters and stuff? It's absolutely really cool. One of my other big benefits that I love is you can just there's two of them. You can put these out on the table, and everybody can easily reach all of the resources for the game. They're self-contained, and they snap on pretty tightly, so nothing comes loose in the box. Artists in the game. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's like 30 plus artists in the list. Yeah, this is the game. I was going to say, I love the art in this game. I love the little resources. They're all little wooden pieces. Really pretty. And the animals, they have different little animals that you collect, and all of the animals are different. So, excuse me, we've got like little deer and moose and eagles and a wolf. They did all these nice little touches like that. Just make this the perfect game, and it's one of those that I would always want to take camping. It's a camping game to me too, as well as playing it with anybody that likes a lighter game and nature and all of that sort of thing. So I'm not really surprised that this jumped up my list. It is so much fun. And it's got a shorter player time too. It says 30 to 60 minutes on it, and it's definitely that. With 2-player, it's probably at the 30-minute mark, no problem. So, what do you think? Because this is lighter. I'm curious, but it has the nature theme, which you love.
I love nature themes.
Yes, you do.
Do I?
Yes, you do. Nature nerd.
No, it's a good one. It is light and fluffy. It's almost feels like a filler game to me in a lot of ways. It's not got a little more meat than that probably, but it's a good one. Like I said, the art's awesome. It's easy to teach, easy to play. It's got some good decisions for a shorter game. It's fun. It's fun. I give it a meh plus.
Wow, a meh plus. High praise for 100 times. No, it is. It really is. I get stuck gawking at the cards and stuff because it really is. Each one of them is just suitable for framing. It's really cool. So next one, thinking of things that are suitable for framing.
Oh, dear.
This one's brand new to my list. Brand new.
It must have just missed your list because
I think it did.
Played at the retreat last year.
It was after I built my list.
Yeah.
And that is the game that is Canvas. If you haven't heard about this game, you guys know I'm a sucker for card crafting. And card crafting is all what this game is about. So you're taking these cards and they're transparent or whatever, but sections of them are filled in with different artwork, and you're going in and you're building your portrait and your lovely painting, and you're building it up, and then you're going to put it on a little easel and judge it, and you get little ribbons, and all those ribbons are worth
the easel was there an easel? I don't think there's an easel in this game, is
there? Yeah.
No, I think that was a Tom Vassell special.
I think there is one.
No.
Was it Tom?
Yes, that was a Tom Vassell
special. It was. Our game doesn't have it. Well, we should get one of didn't the kids have a little baby easel? We're putting one in here. Gosh darn it.
Still one from the galleries.
Still one from the galleries. I think that's actually what we did last time we played it.
I think we did.
I think we did. That's why I kept thinking about the easel. Yeah. So steal a little baby easel. Those little ones are like yay big. And we like to put ours on display. And so we did that, and you judge it, and then you get the different ribbons. Well, the different ribbons are worth different victory points, and you also get certain victory points if you have sets of ribbons or a certain number of this and that ribbons. You got a bunch of different end conditions that you can meet. They're different every game. And the cards and the artwork is so much fun just building because they're just completely different random things. The expansion over there, the Hunter's hiding behind, adds these 2-sided cards. And we're kind of mixed feelings. We were just talking about it again because it really slows down the game with the expansion because you're looking and flipping back and forth because they have different win conditions and they have different artwork, subtly different on each side. But it's kind of fun because that brings a whole new dimension to the game, right? So I don't know. If you really love Canvas, you might want to play with the expansion. It's one of those, depends on how much you want to change up the game. The base game is fantastic. I don't know that it, again, is entirely necessary to have the expansion, but it is a lot of fun and variety. The colors are gorgeous. We have a lot of fun. We usually, they title the cards at the top so you have your name, and so we usually, when we display our art, we like to make up a little story about, I find this inspirational, it's a symbolism of blah, blah, blah. We like to be all cheesy with it and have a lot of fun, get into character. It's a great one to teach people because, again, it's really easy to teach people. It's really pretty. People will come and look at this at the table because it draws the eye. It's gorgeous. So, love me some Canvas. You actually had some fun with this, too.
It's a good game.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really in my wheelhouse, so to speak, but I do enjoy it. It's like borderline my limit for puzzliness in terms of what I'm willing to deal with because there's a lot of, well, if I take this card and this card, well, I'm going to do this. And if I take this card and this card, I do this. But I take this card and I flip this card over and do this. And well, if I flip over this card, that's what you're doing when it's not your turn.
It's trying to figure out.
And then you're looking at the ones you can draft, like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's pretty light. Another one that's easy to teach. It's just about
For real.
collecting symbols and trying to get achievements and stuff like that.
Yep.
What's really interesting, I find interesting, is the board. I don't know if you knew this. They have an actual hanging. Some people
They have a
actually.
hook on-
Some people actually.
Gonna do it? Oh, look at
Some
you.
people actually have. It has a little hole to put a nail or something to hang.
You can hang this
hang
on the
this
wall.
So
Board games as art. I love it.
yeah, this is a
Great
good one.
idea.
I mean, we played it at the retreat last year, and we enjoyed it so much. Me went out and got it for the family. So
The master shopper.
it's a good one. It's a good one. I
It is good.
approve.
Yay! All right, so my next one, Hunter's gonna frown at me because it's a cheat. I decided.
Used to it by now.
Oh wow! Okay, so I combined the two because this day and age with all the great games out there, gosh darn it.
So this is your top 102 now.
Shush. All right. So between the combinations and things and that now, it is a 75 as they are combined. One went up, one went down. They kind of met in the middle. And that is Clank and Clank in space. Okay, so what are you doing? Getting Clank? It's over there in the space section.
You have a space one. The other one.
Oh.
Okay. Don't mind me.
Sorry, this is funny. Clank is a great little deck builder game. And you're going in Clank, you're doing the fantasy type. And then obviously in space, it's the sci-fi version of it. And you are trying to sneak down in Clank to a dragon's lair and get loot and magical treasure and all sorts of great stuff. And the deeper down you go, the better the loot is. Kind of the same thing with Clank in space, except that you're trying to get space treasure stuff and you're watching out for aliens and whatnot. And it's got a very like sci-fi punny vibe, and they have little nods to different sci-fi things that you would recognize and stuff. It's really cute. But in your deck, as you're building this, you get special abilities, but some of them have Clank on them. And what that is you're making noise. The problem is you're trying to be quiet. So as you're clanking, you're aggravating the dragon or whatever bad guy, depending on the game, you know.
Overlord.
Yes, the Overlord. And you don't want to get them angry and alert them to your presence, so you might want to be sneaky, but you're also bracing your other players across from you to get the best stuff and get out, because as soon as somebody gets out, then, dragon overlord person, whoever, is going to get crazy angry and start throwing down, and next thing you know, you're dead if you don't get out in a certain amount of time. So it's like a clock starts ticking. So you really all need to keep in a kind of a same kind of pace, which is really hard to do because you're making noise or whatever. It's really fun. I absolutely love this. I really do vacillate back and forth between which one is my favorite. The base game, the fantasy stuff, I really like the simplicity and the smoothness of that game. Clank in Space adds a little bit more technicality when you're trying to move through the board, because there's areas where you can, once you get far enough, you can beam to, but there's also corridors you can go down, and you have to open certain areas and unlock them that you don't have to do that in regular Clank. But there's all the silly, punny sci-fi stuff in there and different things. I mean, it's just, they each have some wonderful elements to it. It's mostly one of those choices for you. Do you want to do sci-fi or fantasy? What's your mood? They're both fantastic. There's also, oh gosh, I'm trying to think. Just some of the different loots and stuff. And I love the little puzzly things that you unlock in the various areas of Clank in Space as well. You kind of like activating the computer and this and that. So it's a great game. I love it. I love the deck builder aspect of it. Probably the best, of course. That's one of my favorite mechanisms. I know you love these. I'm waiting.
No, I do love these. I think I like the Clank in Space much better than the other one, just because there's a little more game there, and it doesn't have the. When I play these kind of games, I want to do everything. So
that's hard. Yeah,
I want to go explore. I want to collect the best treasure. I want to get all the items and stuff. And with Clank in Space, you don't have that person that runs in, grabs the thing at the very top, and runs out. Like, you can't do that in Clank in Space because you have to unlock certain areas to be able to get to the final area of the game where all the in-game treasure is, which you have to get at least one of those before you can leave. So I like them both. If I was teaching someone brand new, like new to these kind of games, I would definitely pick Clank over Clank in Space because there's a couple levels of more rules you have to teach to do that. And this one probably plays a little longer because invariably someone's going to run in and run out, or at least run in not very far
the attempt,
and run out. So one's definitely, I don't know if it shows the time difference. This one's 45 to 90, and Clank says 60. So I think it's more like more so the 90 on this one and the 60 on this one.
For sure.
But this one could last shorter if someone again runs in and runs out. I hate that. Anyway, both are great deck building games. Both are fun games. Both are got a pressure luck element, which I really like because, like she says, you can get all safe cards, but you're gonna be moving a lot slower.
Really slow.
You're not
it's
gonna be doing
horrible.
much stuff, or you get the crazy. You're banging pots together and screaming and running through the dungeon at full speed, and go that route with it. So it's got a little pressure luck element. But I love pressure luck. It's one of my favorite mechanisms. Yeah, they're good. I approve.
They have a lot of combos of just great stuff going on.
I think I like this one more than you. I like this one
less than me. You. Yeah, I think so too. So, yep, Clank. They're always a good adventure for sure. So my number 74, it jumped up. It was just off my top 100, but I think we played it again.
Did we?
And it was like, gosh, this is a really good game. And I think it helps, too, that this is one of Hunter's faves, and he absolutely adores this game.
Oh,
and it's a big, beefy, heavy-duty.
This is
so
really low.
Uwe Rosenberg.
I can tell you why it got up. I'll tell you why it went up, but I'm going to let you talk about it first to see if you can come across why it went up.
We played the full-on version that we never played.
We've done that before.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh. Now you've got me.
All right, fine.
Tell me,
we played with the specialty buildings.
That's what it was.
We never played with the special buildings before. For whatever reason.
That's what it was.
We've never played with them.
I don't know either. That's what it was. You're right. It was so cool. This game is beefy, okay? This is probably one of his heaviest ones.
Yeah,
and so
close to it.
You've got the harbor, and this is one of those games where the turns are incredibly tight. You want to do about 80 things, and you get to do 4. That kind of game. So you're going through the harbor, and it alternates between... it alternates between players, so you have to keep that in mind as well as you're hopping through the steps before the round ends. And it's worker placement, and the resources are clay, and then later on as you get upgraded buildings, then there's also bricks and clay, and so your engine and your resources are kind of climbing a tech ladder here, and as they get more complicated, the stuff that you need to build is going to be requiring the more complicated items. So there's more steps involved, but you still have this very tight turn, and round that you're going through. So you really need to streamline what you're doing and plan on that. On top of this exciting moment, you need to feed your people every round. Uwe loves to feed his people. And this is one of those games where you cannot ignore that feature whatsoever, or it will just nuke you in this game. And so a lot of times the easiest way to do that is to purchase some ships because they provide a good chunk of food and you're not trying to hunt down individual worker spots to be putting those. But as the rounds continue and progress, the requirements for food is growing because you have more people to feed. It is a very kind of crunchy, heavy game. And it is so good and so well designed. And again, you just really want to do all 10,000 things. It is just marvelous. There's victory points on the buildings as you develop those, and you get victory points from some of the upper echelon of goods and stuff. Like the cows. Like you get the leather goods and this and that. You can start selling those off, and it's just really fascinating because it's it's not really point salady, but there's a couple different ways that you get points from it, and you really need to work up your engine to get to those, because it's really difficult and expensive to buy those buildings that have the really good victory points on them, plus those resources that are really good for you. Again, you have several levels you have to develop to get to those. Fantastic. Love it.
So it's okay.
That's a lie. He's going to rant about this one. He loves it. I should say
this
really.
is the definitively
oh dear. Oh.
best Uwe Rosenberg game
Whoop.
by anyone who has knowledge of Uwe Rosenberg.
Oh, we're gonna throw hands. Okay. That's a lie. That's a lie. I see more.
Just a little bit.
Hint, spoiler.
So anyway, I love this game. It is at last count my favorite Uwe Rosenberg game. I love it. It's got so much going on. I love the decision space in this game. Do I buy ships? Do I go the ship route and not have to worry about the food as much? Or am I just going to collect the 300 fish that's sitting on the dock and not worry about food? Building the buildings, utilizing other people's buildings, timings on that, which buildings to build. It's so good, and every turn is a good turn. It's like, okay, do I make some bread with all this wheat I have, or do I get the 300 fish, or do I ship some of my leather off to get tons of points? Do I buy a boat? What do I do? It's such a good game. I enjoy this game.
And it plays fantastic 2-player. I love playing this 2-player.
And there's a short version and a long version that you can play. There's apparently specialty buildings that you can play with. But I agree with you. I think it is probably, I enjoy it best with 2. It plays best with 2, I think. It plays quicker too, because you play the long version with the full player count. You're pushing 3+ hours.
Nope.
To get that done. We can probably play the long game together in less than 2 hours. So the short one even obviously shorter than that. So you have some choices there, what you want to do, throw down. For the longest time we played the short game, finally played the long game, like, ooh, we love the long game. And then finally played the special buildings. Oh, we love those. So it's just crazy good game. It's even with 2 players, you have that turn angst of, oh, I hope she doesn't go to the bread spot.
Oh my gosh,
please don't go to the bread spot. She went to the bread spot.
Backup plan commits. Yeah,
I love it. It's a great one. It's really good.
But it is heavy.
It is. Yes, it is heavy. La Havre.
So my number 73 was my 82, and that definitely was from another play of The Beast of.
Oh yeah, we got taken behind the woodshed and spanked.
Oh my goodness! So we played a multiplayer count game of Ankh after we played 2-player. This is the best 2-player of the Eric Lang trilogy, I think. Love playing. I like playing it multiplayer. Now I was not one of the groups that was part of the merge. So yeah, I was gonna say, so I don't know, like, I found it interesting. I know that everybody's very vocal about their opinions on that. I think it's kind of an interesting thing, and it's not in other games. So I think it's cool. I like that idea. I guess it depends on who you're merged with, right?
Yeah.
But this game has it all, It's got all of the things that we've come to love from, like, Blood Rage and stuff like that. You've got these cool, the beautiful map and the ridiculous production on this, which is just amazing. You've got these amazing factions that you're playing that everybody's got some cool ability and, specialty, because it's asymmetrical, and it, every time it's like, wow, you have a really cool superpower. Wow, look at my superpower. Everybody's got something really cool and unique that they're doing. And there's different ways that you can accomplish different things in this game. I got to show you some of this stuff on here. I love this one's in the.
You're risking opening the box.
I am risking opening the box because this one I believe is another one that has really good.
No,
this one is not. Oh, you guys are all going to cry if you see this.
Yeah, I said you risk opening the box.
I can't wait.
No!
I can't wait for the comment section.
All right, fine.
We just kind of threw everything in there because they're practically indestructible. But look at the amazing minis. They're ridiculous.
People are crying because they're not painted.
I know. Someday.
You know what I need to start, you know what I need to do with all our miniatures?
Paint them.
No, that's too time consuming, and I'm not good enough at it. But we could
You are
put
good at
washes on all of them.
That would be nice. Yeah, that would be cool.
Just take a quick wash to all of them.
That'd be cool. But the thing is with these games, and y'all know I'm not usually super crazy about fighty games. I don't know.
But he does a good job of making the combat deterministic, where it's not
Exactly.
rolling dice or anything.
Exactly. I think that's part of it. I hate fighting games with dice because inevitably
like
it's
TI4.
that's different. That's totally different. We'll discuss at some point. But spoilers alert here. But yeah, there's just I lost my train of thought on these. The fighting though is just really good. It's streamlined. It's not I feel like it's not just fighting to fight. You know, there's a purpose to it because you're taking over different things and you're it's I don't know. I'm not very articulate this evening. But I absolutely love what you're doing with the game. I love the art style. I love how these, all the Egyptian mythology. Look at these cards. Let me pull out a couple of the cards. Just look at this and the art and everything. I love these things. They're just so cool. But these are the merged with cards. They tell you merged with so-and-so. These are just the art cards for those. And they tell you what each of them do, because when the two lower factions merge, they have special abilities, and they're playing kind of cooperatively together. That's one thing I don't remember because you did play it that way. Do you guys both, if you were to somehow pull off the victory, do you both win that way?
Yes.
Okay, interesting. That's interesting. But yeah, the battle steps. This is great here. Battle steps. Select and reveal cards. Build monument. Resolve plague. Monument majority. Battle resolution. Boom. 5 simple steps. You walk through it and you're good. And I love these. And then there's I forgot about this guy. I mean, some of these abilities feel so game breaking. This guy can't be killed. Good luck with that. Can't be killed. I mean, so it's like, how do you do that? What do you do? Well, you move him around to...
He just stays on the map.
Yeah, he stays on the map somewhere. You put him somewhere strategic, right? So then you sneak around somewhere else and start causing trouble so that they move Bennu. And next thing you know, you're over there and boom, you steal that property from him. It's great. I love the intrigue. I love the action. I love... the gameplay is just smooth. And there's not a lot of games you can be like, this is just smooth. It's intuitive. If we were to jump in and play this, even though it's been... several months since we've played this game, it would be really easy to jump back into it. The rules teach would go quickly. And I absolutely love that about Ankh. It is just amazing. So if you like Egyptian mythology and artwork and you like Eric Lang's, games, oh man, this is my fave. This is my fave of the favorite 2-player of his set, Ankh. So is this... I can't remember because we talked about this recently too. This is your favorite 2-player of his as well, right? I think we agree on the player counts.
2-player is this.
Mm-hmm.
3 and 5 is Rising Sun.
Probably
5.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 and 4
for
Blood Rage.
Blood Rage. Just it's so cool because we pick by player count, right?
I think we decided that when we played Rising Sun 3 players, we decided 5 would be better.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to do 4 because then you just have...
It's got a weird map.
You have 2. No, you have 2 alliances, and then...
Oh, that's true.
There's not odd man out. It's like I say, hey, we'll be an alliance, so immediately the other 2
are going to lie. Yeah, that's true.
There's no real discussion.
That's
at that
true.
Point.
That's true.
If there's 3. There's some negotiation going on, right?
I mean, I love this 2-player, but I would never turn down a multiplayer of this because it doesn't drag out. I guess that's the other reason I really like that. It doesn't drag. I didn't feel like it did anyway. It was just really, it's good stuff. It's just smooth.
Yeah, you wouldn't think area control would work 2-player, but
no,
it does really well.
So
works really
good.
well.
Amazing. Love Ankh. Love, love, love.
Running out of space over here.
Oh, I can take it back. Okay, so we are down to the last couple. So this one adjusted a little bit. It was a 67 last year, and it's 72 this year. And I think...
Did you hate it now?
No, I think we just haven't had a chance to play it really since.
Okay.
And that is Tawantinsuyu, the Inca Empire. Oh my goodness. I have a thing for the Incas anyway. I think they're amazing and fascinating. So I think it's kind of cool. Of course, again, theme, but
It's dripping with things.
no, it's not. However, this beastie of a game, this is another brain-burning game. And yes, the Incas, it's totally the Incas.
Out of the box stuff.
It is. I was just about to say, oh, Coralie would be worried because look, I had to flip it like that. So this one reminds me a little bit, it's got a little bit of the Viscount vibe because you're running around a board. This one's, is this a hex or pentagon? I can't remember the shape. Anyway, so you're you're traveling around this, but it's got kind of tiers to it. And as you're traveling, you can decide which direction you go. Wherever you land, you have a choice of different resources and, or abilities and stuff that you get to do. This is another one of those games of, it seems like nothing but good choices, right? There's so many different things that you can do with it. And it's easy to just get distracted, be like, ooh, I want to do this and I want to do this. And meanwhile, somebody's streamlined and is heading for the victory points. In the top and the middle, it's also got an area where you're putting little guys and you can get some special abilities. But along the bottom two layers in particular, I think it's the bottom two, maybe three, you can, again, make these choices and get different resources and actions, and they get better the higher up, but they're more expensive. You're trying to balance those out, get your victory points and all that. But I love the puzzliness of the traveling and trying to get that stuff done, and balancing, your money and your resources. And it's another one of those that'll melt your brain in the best way.
I have one thing to say about this game. To quote a famous person, I have no memory of this place.
It's been a while. We need to play it again, for sure.
Times.
We need to play it again.
When it first came out, we haven't touched it since.
Mm-hmm.
And
I love it.
2 years ago, so do the math.
Yeah,
this is definitely. I think this will. We're about to do a top 10 games that.
Oh yeah, that'll be on the list.
Played in years.
Yeah.
We need to play this one again. Yeah, I mean, there's a pre-scout at the top, kind of going around doing a kind of rondel thing, if I remember right.
Yes, that's right too.
Dudes at the bottom, and based on what there's like different types, so like warriors and what are they? Warriors and
I don't remember what the other
craftsmen and different things. They'd have different things they can do and stuff like that.
Different abilities,
and it is tiered. It's not a three. It would be cool if it's a 3D board, but it's not. But it's supposed to represent.
It feels like it is
supposed
almost,
to represent like a pyramid type thing, where there's lower tiers and you go up the tiers. Yeah, but it's a flat.
It is in the mountains.
It's a flat board. They kind of make it look 3D by the picture on the board.
Well, just because everything is more difficult or whatever as you head through those tiers, they really do feel 3D almost. It's pretty cool. It was well done.
Yeah, this is our least recently played T game.
Makes sense. So, anywho, I love it.
I have no memory of this place.
It didn't sink much, if that tells you anything.
You did. I remember you enjoyed it quite a bit. I think if we played it again, it'll refresh that.
Yeah, and it may even go up again. Who knows? It is a goodie. I like the heavy duty games of those.
Why are you sighing?
I think you like this one more than me, so you're probably going to be like, I can't believe this is low. This is criminally low.
It happens all the time. Your list is,
I know.
I swear your list is upside down.
Maybe it is. This was 45. It dropped, but I think it dropped because we've played it a lot, and I love it, but I don't like the expansion, and you like the expansion. You probably know what that game is now.
We're going to the north, Rails of the North. Maybe? Oh,
and
we got the cool OG.
Yeah, we do. So, Great Western Trail. I love this game. It's a lot of fun. It's another one of those deck builders, cow builder game. And you're going on the Great Western Trail. You're taking your herd of cows up, and you're going to sell them. And along the way, you've got all these little places for your little worker guy to stop and build up more buildings or work on making your train more efficient so it'll travel farther. Excuse me. And there's also resources you can get. You can sell your cows, try to get more cows, you can buy more cowboys or engineers or craftsmen to build more buildings. And they also make whatever you're doing cheaper. there's all these things that you get to do on your way up to is Kansas City, right? Wasn't it Kansas City? Kansas City.
That's where you deliver the cows, yes.
Yes.
And take them off to parts unknown.
They go to a happy little farm.
And if you have the expansion parts all over the place.
It's true. So the expansion that I was talking about is the Trails of the North, or whatever you call
Rails
it. Rails and Trails or something.
Rails of the North?
Yeah.
Rails of the North?
I'm of mixed feelings about it because it kind of brings the trains into more prominence. And there's more going on with them. And I guess I just don't focus as much with that in the game when I play. So doing all that, if I don't focus on it with the expansion, I definitely lose every game I play. And I feel like it draws some of the attention away from the main board and what you're doing with all that, which is my favorite part to play with. And Hunter loves that. It's like, oh, there's all this train stuff to do, and blah, 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 and he's doing all this. And I don't know why, I just don't do well with it or something, and I just don't find it as interesting. So I'm like, But I love the game. It's so good. It's so much fun. Then going along the track with the trains, it gives you benefits when you get to certain spots, and you also get more victory points. And as you go through, you're putting little markers there, clear parts on your player board to give you more abilities. It's another thing kind of like Scythe. You know, the player board on Scythe, as you move stuff, you get cool abilities or whatever. And this one has that. But you're also covering spots on the board that give you like victory points and really cool stuff. And for whatever reason, I just like, I kind of a minimalist to that part of the game, which is kind of important to do in the game.
Who would have thought
But
making your train better in a game about trains is...
It's about cows. This game is about cows, sir. It is not about trains. Cows. Your deck is made out of cows.
Crappy cows.
No, then they turn them into good cows. And it's interesting. That's the only weird, quirky thing about the game. I'm like, is this thematic? Because you want to get a variety of cows. You don't want to get one herd of the same kind of cow. And I'm like,
they don't want a bunch of the same cows.
That works, but you know, whatever. But no, it's really fun because as you go to buy more cows, some of them are kind of beefy, and they give you more victory points. You're welcome. But they give you more victory points, and so you want to get more of those. But you don't want to get too many of them because then you're going to have all of the same type of cow, and then you don't sell very much and get much money. And there's this balance you have while you're going through there. You can buy little things like when you build your buildings, and it charges people a fee to travel through that area. Unless you're broke and then you don't pay them. Hunter likes to purposely make sure he's broke when he goes through my areas. So he's like, oh, I'm sorry, can't pay. Next time.
Yeah.
So I love the quirky bits.
We don't have a lot of games in our collection that involve hand management.
That's really true.
So it's kind of, in that aspect, it's fairly... I mean, you have tons of deck builders, but deck builders, you draw your cards, you play them all, throw them away, and get new cards.
Yeah.
This one, you have a hand of cards, and you manipulate bringing cards into your hand and out of your hand to try to get to build the best hand of cards. There's not a lot of games. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. We don't have a lot of games that have that, so it's kind of unique in that sense. I do like the expansion. I enjoy it quite a bit. It gives you... I'm really not very good at traveling in the base game, traveling very far along the track. But
maybe that's
for whatever reason, in the expansion, I go all over the place, man. I'm up in St. Louis, and I'm up in Chicago, and all over the place.
He's everywhere, and I'm literally like, I'm the opposite of you in that. The original game, I do great on the train, and I'm fine. I don't know.
It's a great one. It's one of my favorites. I do love it a lot more than you. I loved it more. Mine was higher up even before it did the drop seas, I think, for you. We'll see where it lands this year because we haven't played this one in a little bit, but I really do love it. It's a good game.
It's a great one.
One of my faves.
Yep, it's my 71, so it's still going strong, but it's funny that it dropped as much as it did. I don't know if it's because, again, like you said, the type of game that we're playing or what it is. Just that expansion. We'll see when we play it again soon. So that's it for this 10 already. Stay tuned for the next set, 70 through 61. And I think got some really good ones on there. We'll see how many of these Hunter likes. Dun, dun, dun.
And my prediction was right. 2 I hated, 2 I loved, and the 6 that were okay.
What'd you hate? Besides, what'd you hate besides?
Bye!